I'm going to show you how to make a custom Christmas tree in the Minecraft 1.18 update with twinkly lights and decorations, and then I'm going to give you the world download for free. Don't you go anywhere. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance. It's Minecraft 1.18 and it's nearly Christmas, so I figured let's make a big Christmas tree in the Minecraft 1.18 update. This tree is not just a custom spruce tree. It's got twinkling lights, it's got decorations, but most importantly, you can customize this to whatever design you would like so as it fits into your world. So whilst this is a tutorial, it's also a Minecraft guide. And I'm also going to give you a world download for this. I wasn't going to, but it's such a beautiful seed that I figured, you know what, why don't I build the tree and give you the world as well? And seeing as it's nearly Christmas, and obviously if you enjoy the video, maybe consider leaving me the gift of a like. They cost you absolutely nothing, but they really help out the channel. And if you've not done it already, maybe think about subscribing. I put out Minecraft videos every single week. And if you like this one, maybe you'd like some of the others too. Thank you so much. I reckon these mountains would make a brilliant backdrop for the tree, so let's get on with it. Everything you need for this tree is inside this chest. Now let me be really clear. This tree is a custom tree, so yours could look a little bit different to mine, so these blocks aren't exactly right, but they're a rough guide to what you might need. So pause the video, take a screenshot, do what you got to do. Let's crack on. The most important thing about your tree is location, location, location. Find a really nice spot for it and then mark out a really rough patch. It needs to be at least 3 by 3 blocks. I've gone out ever so slightly bigger, and you can build out around this as well. Come to the center of your 3 by 3 square and knock out the middle, and then one more block, and then we're going to build a 2 deep trench. Well, as far as you want really. It needs to be at least 10 blocks, but at the end of this is where your on off switch is going to be. At the end of your channel, make it just 1 deep, and on the top of that, pop in a lever. We are then going to come in with 2 bits of redstone dust. We're then going to hit a redstone comparator right into that. I'm then going to dig out a little 2 by 2 area just here, and into the side of that comparator, I'm going to put a repeater, and I'm going to put it to 4 ticks by right clicking on it 3 times. I'm then going to loop round the redstone to there, and then I'm going to run the redstone all the way along till 2 before the end. So 1, 2, and that one. I'm then going to put in a block that conducts redstone. Dirt is absolutely fine. I'm going to get myself a redstone torch. I'm going to place it on the other side of that block. This is the circuit that controls the flashing of your fairy lights. When I throw this lever, power goes into that comparator, loops round through the repeater into the side. That means that the power going in the side is more than the power going in the back. And the comparator doesn't like that, so it gradually reduces the signal coming out of the front all the way over to your block. The end result is the redstone torch flashes on and off, and that's what powers your tree. This is why this repeater has to be on 4 ticks. If you've got it on fewer ticks, it actually flashes too fast. And on 1 tick, you can see it's a right old pulse, and you can actually cause that redstone torch to burn out. 2 ticks is a bit slower, but it's still not fast enough. There, and 4 is exactly what you want. Now, the tree can actually completely stop working if you've not got it on 4 ticks. Now, cover this circuit over because you don't need it, including placing a block over that torch. Now, the end result of this tree is really effective, but the principle behind it is dead simple. It's basically a redstone torch tower with some flair. So let's build up the base of our tree. Place a redstone torch right in the middle. You'll see it immediately turns off because the torch underneath is on, powering that block that this is sitting on and therefore turning that off. We're then going to place a block on top of that and a redstone torch on top of that block. You can see that turns on because that block isn't at all powered. We're then going to build up a 3 by 3 all the way around this, and this is the beginning of your tree trunk. Now obviously now you can start to bring these tree trunks out in whichever shape or pattern you would like to do this. It's entirely up to you. The bigger your tree is going to be, the wider this base needs to be. And you can also decide how tall it's going to be before your first branches come on. Now, if you've got a fairly wide base, I'm going to do a relatively wide base, I think, on this one, then you probably don't want to have your branches coming out too quickly. So I'm going to put another block on top of that and another redstone torch on top of that, which turns off because this one is powered on. And I'm just going to build up this 3 by 3 to the side here. And I reckon this is going to be the level I'm going to put out my first branch. It all looks very blocky around the bottom at the moment, but we're going to be fixing that later. Place a couple of blocks coming out in each direction in the middle of your 3x3, just off the side at the level you want to start your first branches. So I'm just going to do these here like that. Just a couple for now, and then grab an observer and place an observer so it is facing the redstone torch. You can see the face looking at that torch, waiting for it to update. The redstone bum should be at the back. And do that in all 4 directions. And you'll end up with a cluster of 4 observers all looking at the same torch, and then bring your logs up so they're level with the top of the observer. Then take these branches out the back of the observers as far as you want them to go. The taller you want your tree, the further out they're going to have to go. I've gone out 7 in each direction, but you can make that fewer or more blocks. It's up to you. Come to the end of one of your branches, place a temporary block right there and another block of wood right there. Remove your temporary block, place a redstone lamp at the end. That is your first fairy light. Then get a repeater and come to the back of your observer and place the repeater coming out of the back of that. Place it on a random number of ticks. It doesn't matter, 1, 2, 3 or 4. As long as you're changing it up, you can do whatever you want. And then get yourself some redstone dust and place that redstone dust going all the way along to that block. I've turned on the lever just to show you what's going on. You can see that redstone torch is flashing on and off. The observer sees it, lets out a redstone fart. The redstone fart goes straight into that repeater, and depending on the delay, gives a flash of a certain duration off the back of this in this redstone lamp. If I was to change the number of ticks on that, you can see the redstone lamp changes the number of flashes. Again, do that. The redstone lamp changes the way it flashes. And if we change all of that up across the entire tree, we get it to twinkle. But nobody wants a square tree, so we're going to come out diagonally. Remember how many blocks you came out on these branches. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to come out the same number diagonally, -2. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then just going to pop on the side there and pop one up. Remove that one, and that is going to be where we place our redstone lamp, on the side like that. We can then run ourselves a redstone line running into that block in exactly the same way as we did before, like that, and then place a block here in the form of another observer that is looking at that repeater right there. When the repeater updates, this observer is going to let out a redstone fart and power that one over there. Now do this around your entire tree, so you have 4 diagonals and 4 straights, each wired up with a redstone lamp at the end. So you should end up with something that looks a little bit like that. Remember to make sure that your repeaters are set to different numbers of ticks. Then what you should end up with when you turn on your lever is that all of your redstone lamps flicker on and off, but at different times, relatively quickly, so they do look like the blinking of fairy lights. Next up, on the open space around your tree here, you can see you've got one on every side. Place a torch. This is going to stop light updates, and then as you come out on the diagonal, place another torch about halfway down that diagonal as well. Again, this is going to stop your light updates from causing any lag, which is important in a solo world and is especially important if you are playing on a server. Then around the outside of your branches, place yourself some leaves. And this is where you can just get a little bit artistic, do it wherever you want, but make sure you do cover up that redstone line, because nobody wants to see the redstone line, especially you. Do it all the way around, and then we're ready for the next level. So it could perhaps look something like that. Now remember, just don't make it one big block of leaves, because that wouldn't look particularly natural. Leave little gaps, make sure you've got some on the underside of the boughs, but not all of them. Leave some naked wood, because trees look like that in the wild. We're now going to do the next level. Grab any redstone conducting block, pop it on top of that redstone torch. This is going to be hidden, so it doesn't matter what it is. And then continue your trunk of that 3x3 and place a redstone torch right in the middle of it. Grab any log or wood that you're using for your trunk and come out 2 in each of the 4 cardinal directions like this, just as we did the first time. And then once you've done that, grab yourself your observer and make sure you're facing your observer into that redstone torch, so as the redstone bum is facing outwards along your branch. Then just like before, place a block between all of the observers and grab yourself a repeater and place them on top of these branches here. Now make these a different tick number to the other ones underneath. It's important that you set the repeaters on a different number of ticks to those underneath them. That way you get that twinkling effect. Otherwise it's pretty much a solid flash and it doesn't look as nice. Then bring your branches out and remember to do them 1 fewer blocks than you did on the branch below. So we know the branch below is 7, so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Temporary block there, place another one there, and then get your redstone lamp and place it to the side. Now you should find that redstone lamp is 2 up and 1 across from the lamp underneath it, and that is what you're after. Connect that up with redstone and that bit is done. Do that on all 4 sides and on the diagonals. Now remember that your diagonals are going to be 2 fewer blocks out than your straight bows. So we've just gone out 6, so my diagonals want to be 4. Once that second level's up, you can see all of those fairy lights twinkling at different times. Then just place in the leaves just like you did before. And remember to put in some torches to stop those light updates. And make sure you leave gaps in those leaf blocks to make it look more natural. You could even start to introduce some spruce fences to make these look like smaller branches in amongst the others. And it makes it look even more realistic. A little bit like that. Then repeat this again and again on each new level with the blocks, the observers, the repeaters, the leaves. But remember to reduce the length of each of those branches by 1 block every new level you go up. And make sure that repeaters next to each other aren't on the same setting. When you get near the top, you're going to need to take out the repeaters and the observers outside of the core because the redstone will fall over. Just link it all up with redstone dust and it will still work perfectly. But what you can do to stop the twinkling effect being lost is just put the repeaters into some of these at different settings, going straight into the blocks rather than coming out of the observers, and that will work just perfectly. And as you get right to the very top, you're going to have to take out those diagonal lights altogether. And right up the very, very top, the observers are going to have to point directly into these blocks and then directly into the redstone lamps themselves. Right at the very top, you could perhaps put another redstone lamp so that continues that flashing all the way up to the top. You could maybe put in a bit of glowstone so as that constantly is on and we've got light coming from the top. Or what I like to do is place down 1 leaf on the top and then an armor stand on the top of that, a golden crown, some trousers, some boots and some fairy wings. I think that's quite cool. That is all the redstone on this tree done, and those lights will flash on and off really beautifully. I'll show you and turn it into night right at the very end. But for me, there are definitely 2 things left to do, and that is to make this trunk just a little bit more realistic with giving roots out, make it so as it's coming out into the ground as well. Remember, roots run along the ground like that. Get this so as it looks a little bit more realistic and like a proper tree. Now this is the bit where you can have a lot of fun. We can decorate this tree in whichever way you would like. I've got all kinds of decoration blocks here, from glazed terracotta to glowstone to amethyst to wool, lanterns, even candles. And just put them across your tree in a way that pleases you. Christmas tree decorating is a very personal thing, so do this the way you want to do it. I'm basically going to spam a load of stuff all over the place, making sure that when I put candles on, I'm putting them on solid wood because they won't go onto the leaves. But there's plenty of wood available for me to put these candles on. I'm going to switch up the colours, so I'm going to have some reds, I'm going to have some whites, and I'm going to light them up because they won't have any fire ticks, so it'll be quite safe. So I've used all different types of decorative blocks and spammed them in all over the place. I've made a nice little path with some bushes and some fences that go in and around the Christmas tree. And just as a final touch, let's cover up that ugly lever with a trapdoor exactly like that. Now, other ideas you could do, you could put snow all around it. You could really make it very bushy with lots of terraforming. It's entirely up to you. This is your tree. And at night time, you can come along, open up your trapdoor, flick your lever, and just really enjoy that twinkling light. And with the backdrop of those mountains, that looks brilliant. One Christmas tree that you can now download into your world. Use this world as your base. The free download is available on avomance.com. Link is in the description below. Please do come along and use this as your Minecraft 1.18 update world. By the way, the seed is really good. Go and explore it. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you enjoyed them, and I will keep on making. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.